Hello, take two. I just sat outside. It is a little warm outside, but I was sitting out there and I filmed the whole video and brought it in and almost uploaded it, decided to listen to it really quickly, and the birds and the locusts are so loud out there that you could hear me, but you could hear them more. So I came inside to try this again. I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember everything I just talked about, so I'm just going to start over. I don't know. I had shown some lip balm that I had just gotten. It was from Harry's, the razor guys. They came out with a black lip balm for men, and my mom told me about it when she came to stay with me this last week. So I bought some, and it's already come. I put some on. It looks really pretty. I cannot imagine my husband wanting his lips to look this color, but my mom said that it's made for men and that the women in their lives are swiping it and using it because it's so moisturizing. I'll run and get it real quick. Maybe. Okay, so this is what it is. It's in a little tube that says Harry's. When you open it up, it's gray. My mom, years ago, I had bought the Givenchy black lipstick, and she had always wanted it. They had sold out, quit making it. They started making it again, so she bought some. She only had it 3 weeks, and when she went on a trip, and it was raining, and she was getting out of the rental car, and her purse was open and fell over, and she tried to get all the stuff that she thought fell out, and her Givenchy lipstick was one of the things that was missing from her purse. She doesn't remember what else she lost. She just knows that Givenchy lipstick is no longer in her possession. So when this came out, she bought this hoping it would be the same. Actually, I think it's kind of a nice pink color. It doesn't say that it's supposed to turn your lips pink. It says it's supposed to moisturize and give your lips a natural, healthy look. So I bought mine, and thinking that I had bought several of them. The more you bought, the cheaper they were. So I bought one thinking, I'll give one to my husband and I'll keep one. He's not going to use this. I 100% know he will not use this. So mostly because he prefers sunblock. He's a golfer and he's out in the sun all the time. And so he's very big on sunblock, and he wants sunblock for his lip balm. So this does not have that in there. So I mentioned my mom came and spent a few days with me, and we had a fun time. One of the first things that we did, we went to an estate sale. In Kansas City, one of my favorite areas is down by the plaza, which is a shopping area. And from my apartment to the plaza, I go down Ward Parkway, and Ward Parkway has stately homes that it is just so fun to just look at these homes and just try and imagine what people do that live there, what their job is, what do they do. But this estate sale, whenever I see an estate sale sign in that area, I always try to go to it because I mainly just want to look at the house. And if I find a treasure, then I find a treasure. If not, I get to see the house, which is really fun for me. So I found this little tray. When I had my little boutique, I liked to, every time I found trays like this, I would buy them this is what I would use to put jewelry on or set up at the counter. And if I had lipsticks or nail polishes for sale, I would use little trays like this. This one says it's from Limoges, Avalon, France. I'm not sure if it is an authentic piece. Judging by the price that I paid, probably not, but it's always fun to have little trays like this. I set them here in my apartment, and when I take off my earrings or my watch or rings, I'll put it on a tray beside my bed or next to the couch, and then that way, when I'm frantically looking for it, it's not just laying willy-nilly on the table. I know it'll be on the tray of some sort. The other thing that I purchased were a set of 3 linen hankies, which I think are really beautiful. They've got a nice scalloped edge and a little bit of detailing. I'm not sure what this is called, what type of embroidery, maybe handwork. I'm not sure, but I just think they're beautiful. I have so many of these in storage, packed away, because I always thought that it'd be really cute to add these onto clothes in some way, like on a pair of jeans or in a pocket or something. I just thought that'd be really fun. However, I just cannot bring myself to cut them. So if one is really stained, maybe I'll do that. Full disclosure, I do not sew. That is one of the things that I want to learn how to do, is sew. The year that I turned 50, I may have said this before, the year I turned 50, I decided every year I was going to learn something new. And that first year I learned how to do a Tiffany bow. And I've since, learned crochet, and I've got a whole list of things, calligraphy. I did embroidery a little bit. I really did not delve into it for the whole year like I should have. I kind of got sidetracked. I'm not sure what was happening in that year. But then, so when I was turning 60, I wasn't going to say my age. Fudge. Oh well. I decided that I wanted to learn French, and so that's what I've been working on. And so one of these years, I will learn how to sew. And the reason why I want to learn how to sew is because 2 reasons. My daughters and I came up with with something that we want to do, and it involves sewing. None of us sew, so for us to come up with this idea is a little comical, but once we learn how to sew, maybe this will come to fruition, our little idea. I cannot say what it is, though. And then the other reason why I want to learn to sew is because I have this dress in my head of what I want this dress to look like, and I can't find it anywhere. I mean, I've looked in vintage shops, I've looked in, modern shops. There for a while, Anthropologie had some vintage dresses that they used to sell. And some of them were similar to what I'm wanting, except I'm not finding exactly what I'm wanting. So if I ever learn to sew, I want to make my dress, which I think would be a lot of fun. Another fun thing that we did this week, we went to one of our favorite, there's a lady named Mary Carol Garrity, and she used to have a shop called Nell Hills in Atchison. She then moved that shop to Kansas City, and it was a lot bigger than the one in Atchison, and then she has since sold it, and so another lady is running that now, and I do not know her name. But a couple of years ago, Mary Carol opened up another store, and she just has this flair that I love. She has this little shop it's on Gillum Road in Kansas City, in a big antique store, and she has a little corner of it that her same feeling that we used to get in when we'd go into Atchison. We've got the same feeling when we go into this little shop. It's called Diebold's, and she has a wide range of things. She has very expensive things, and then she has not such expensive things. She's got little things that you can feel like you can pick up, and it's not going to break the bank usually. So what I bought, I don't have the sugar shaker here anymore. I've already taken it to the kitchen, but I bought a vintage silver sugar shaker that is exquisite. I love this thing. I can't wait to properly clean it and then put some sugar in it and then use it for some tea. I think that'd be really fun. The other thing that I bought were these vases for dog lovers. Is he just the sweetest? He's got a little hole in his head so you can put water in him. I think he is just adorable. And then I bought his little friend, and this one is adorned with his flowers in his hair. Is he just the sweetest? I just think these are just adorable. And they weren't very much. They were less than $10, less than $9 a piece. So I bought the last 4 that she had. I bought 2 of this guy and 2 of the other guy. And I thought it'd be really fun as a hostess gift as somebody invites us to their home for dinner and I know they're a dog lover. How cute would that be to bring some little flowers in a doggy vase? I just think that'd be cute. Mary Carroll's suggestion, when she saw that I was purchasing these, suggested how cute would it be to have a little dinner party and then have one of these at each place setting. I just think that's adorable. And I really wish I was the kind of person that had dinner parties. I've always wanted to. Maybe that's something that I'll do for one of my birthdays. Okay, so my knitting that I've done, I was working on those little baby hats with using the Premier yarn, anti-pilling yarn, and I have since started a third one, and this is for my grandson that lives in Kansas City. And this one's finished knitted, and then all I need to do is stitch it up and then cinch the top. And then this is what they're going to look like. I have finished Little Twin Boys, and I have finished Little Twin Girls. And what I did, this is the one that I messed up on, and I was going to either start completely over or try and have some women that work at a yarn shop help me. What I decided to do, I decided to frog it back myself and try very hard not to drop any stitches. I did that. However, you can see where right here I did something wrong. I twisted a stitch, or I did not get it back up on my needles properly. So you can kind of tell where that line was. But how long is she really going to wear this? Probably not. And that way, I mean, it's not going to matter if it gets messed up. My seaming isn't very nice. I don't do a very nice job of seaming, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I try and do what they say, picking up the closest stitch to you on one side and the furthest stitch from you on the other side, but I did that on this one too, and it's just not very neat in my opinion. So I'm going to need to, and that I really did a horrible job here. It just doesn't look very nice. So he's going to wear it this way. But those are my little hats. I'm also, another thing that I wanted to do, since I'm working on this tank top, I remember a few years ago, I found a pattern that was just 2 rectangles, and you take the rectangles and you make them as wide as your body and as long as you want it to go, and then you sew just a little bit on each side, and you leave an opening for your neck, and so it's like a boat neck, and then you leave opening for your arms, and then you just stitch down the sides. Easiest tank top ever. And I was looking at this, and I thought this would be really, really neat as one of those boat necks, turning it this way, not having it this way, but turning it this way like the hats. So I think if I can do the math and get it figured out, I think I'm going to try and knit up 2 of these and sew them together and see what happens. It may be a total flop. I'm thinking the pattern that I'd found was for crochet. I'm sure it would work for knit, but we're going to see. I'm going to try that. Now my crochet that I'm working on, I started this. Remember, I was waiting for my crochet hooks and they finally came in. But this is the back panel that I'm working on. And I think I've already made a mistake. I was trying to do the 2-row repeat from memory, and I think on the end I was supposed to do a double crochet. I think I just did a single crochet, and then I've done 2 more rows after that, and I don't think it's going to line up correctly, so I'm going to have to rip this back. But this is going to be the back panel. I think this is going to be huge. I'm making the small medium, I think. I think I'm making the 3rd size, which is the small medium. This is just looking huge to me. So you make the back panel and the front panel, and then you work the neckline and the ribbing. I just don't know. So I'm going to continue and make this. I'm going to finish it, and if it's too big, I'll just give it to somebody. Not sure who, but I'll probably just gift this to someone. Well, I think that is everything that I said on the last video with the birds that were so loud. I don't know, they were still very loud. They've kind of just, oh, here they're coming back up. This is the locust now. But it's so loud, so very loud. Well, I hope that you have a beautiful day. I hope everything that you're knitting or crocheting or crafting on is working exactly the way you like. And most importantly, I hope you're kind. I think kindness is something that this world needs more of. So thank you for watching, and have a beautiful day.